Dear students, we now begin with chapter 3 of Science Part 1 titled Chemical Reactions and Equations. Now this particular chapter is a very easy chapter. I know you will see a lot of chemical reaction in this chapter, but don't get afraid. Don't worry about it. If you understand the chapter, it is very easy. Don't try to rote memorize it or by heart it like a parrot. No, try to understand the chapter, and it's a very easy chapter only if you understand it, and I'll try my best to explain you as well as possible. So let me give you a brief overview of this chapter, what you'll be learning in this chapter. First and foremost, you'll be learning what is a chemical reaction. Next, you learn what is a chemical equation. Then you learn what are the different steps that you need to keep in mind while writing a chemical equation. After that, we learn what information is given by chemical equation. What is the use of a chemical equation? What information does it give us? Okay. Then you learn the different ways of classifying chemical reactions. You learn three different ways of classifying chemical reactions. Then we'll move on to learn the various factors that affect the rate of a chemical reaction, or what you call the speed of a chemical reaction. So in other words, how can you increase or decrease the speed of a reaction? And then finally we learn about some chemical reactions which we see in our day-to-day life, like corrosion and rancidity. So this is how these are the various modules involved in this chapter. Now boys, in your lower classes, you learnt about the various kinds of changes, the types of changes which you see in your surroundings in your day-to-day life. You learnt, if you remember, if you learnt about physical change and chemical change, you learnt about slow change and fast change, you learnt about periodic changes and non-periodic changes, and so on and so forth. Now what we'll be actually focusing in this chapter is on chemical change, but to understand chemical change we need to understand what is physical change. So what are the differences between a physical change and a chemical change? I'll just highlight it once again. You already learnt it. It's just for brush up. Like in a physical change, a new substance is not formed, whereas in a chemical change, a new substance is formed. Secondly, in a physical change, only the physical properties of the substance, such as state, like no state, I mean to say like solid states, liquid state, that way. State, color, shape, size, etc. changes. In a chemical change, both the physical and the chemical properties of the substance changes. Thirdly, in a physical change, the original substance can be recovered easily by physical means. That way you can get back the original substance. Whereas in a chemical change, the original substance cannot be recovered easily by physical means. You cannot get back the original substance. Why? Simply because that substance got changed into a new substance. And lastly, in a physical change, it is temporary, whereas a chemical change is permanent. It cannot be reversed. Now let's see this example which I given down there. First example in the physical change column, if you see melting of ice into water. Now when I talk about melting of ice into water, when ice changes into water, does the substance change? No, the substance remains the same. Ice also is water, and water is also water. So ice is what? Ice is water in the solid state, whereas water is always in the liquid state. So if you see here, only the what has changed, the state has changed. That means only the physical property has changed. Can I then, so is a new substance formed? No. What about the what properties have changed? The physical property, as I said, only the state has changed. From solid state, it got converted to liquid state. It was ice, solid state. Now it has become liquid state. That is water. Thirdly, original substance can be recovered or no? Of course, yes. If you want to get your ice back, now ice has melted into water. If you want to make it ice again, very simple. What will you do? Take the water and put it in the freezer, and the water will again freeze into ice. In other words, you can get back your original substance, that was ice. And fourthly, it's a temporary change. Why? You can reverse it. Now, what about heating of iron? Heating of iron also same thing. When you heat iron, what happens? Does the substance change? No, iron remains iron only. Now, iron is a metal, and most of the metals are generally metals of what? Grayish in color. So, but when you heat iron, it becomes red hot. Yes, it becomes red. But again on cooling, what happens? Again it becomes gray. In other words, did I get a new substance? No. My iron remained iron only. Only what changes the color. So only the physical properties have changed. Can I get back my original iron? Yes. On cooling, you will get back your original substance. That was your gray colored iron. And it's a temporary change. Again on cooling, you got it back, the original iron, the grayish iron. Only when you heated it became red hot. Again cooling, it will become grayish color again. Again, next example, breaking of in a glass object. Is a new substance formed? When a glass object breaks, like a glass object, like a glass utensil or whatever, or a glass bowl, when it falls on the floor from your hand, do you get a new substance? No, it is still glass. Only thing, the big glass, whatever bowl was there, that has broken into small pieces. In other words, only the physical properties have changed. That is what happened. The size changed. You had a big glass bowl. When you dropped it, it became into it broke down into small pieces. So I hope you understood what is the physical change. Now let's come to chemical change. The first example, if you see there, is changing of milk into curd. Now what happened here exactly? You had milk, you put 1 spoon of curd into it and kept it overnight, and it changed into curd in the morning, right? So your milk has become curd. You got a completely new substance. Did the substance change? Of course, the milk has become curd. Milk is a different thing, curd is a different thing. What happened to the physical and what happened? What about the properties? Both the physical and chemical properties have changed. Let's talk about physical properties. Milk is in liquid state, whereas curd is what? Is it purely liquid? No, it is semi-solid, half liquid. So if you see the physical properties have changed, and not only that, chemical properties also have changed. Your curd is what? Your milk was lactose. Now it has become into lactic acid. Curd is called lactic acid. It has changed. Your lactose got converted to lactic acid. You got a completely new substance. That means the chemical properties also have changed. You had a lactose sugar. Now it has become an acid, lactic acid, which you learned in your 9th. Remember, lactobacilli converts milk into curd. So you have to say both the physical chemical properties have changed. Thirdly, the original substance cannot be recovered by physical means. Is it possible to get when the milk changes into curd, can I change the curd back into milk again? Never. It can never happen. So in other words, I cannot get back my original substance. Fourthly, is it a permanent change? Of course, yes. I cannot reverse it. So it's a permanent change. So you saw how changing of milk into curd is a what change? A chemical change. What about rusting of iron? When iron gets rusted, does it remain the same or you get a new substance? Of course you get a new substance. Why? Because when iron gets rusted, it reacts with the moisture and oxygen in the air to form hydrated iron oxide. Iron changes into iron oxide. So you have got a new substance. Iron has become iron oxide. In heating of iron, in that physical change, what we saw the example, the heating of iron, there when you heated iron, did it change? No, only the color changed here. But in rusting of iron, the whole substance changes. Iron becomes iron oxide. What about both the physical and chemical properties have changed? Of course, why chemical properties have changed? Because you got a new substance, iron oxide. Did the physical properties also change? Of course, yes. Iron is grayish in color, whereas iron oxide, what you call rusted iron, looks what color? Reddish brown color. Yes? Or reddish color. Yes, reddish brown. Third one, can I get back my original substance? Once my iron has got rusted, can I get back my iron again? No. I cannot get back my original substance. I cannot convert iron oxide back into iron. Fourthly, Is it a permanent change? It's a permanent change. Yes, because my iron has now become iron oxide and I cannot reverse it. So it's a permanent change. That's why rusting of iron also is a chemical change. Same thing with the digestion of food. When food is digested, do you get a new substance? Ask yourself. You learned last year about digestion of food in your lower classes. When food gets digested, what happens? The carbohydrates are broken down into what? Sugars, simple sugars like glucose and all. Then the big proteins are broken down into small amino acids, and then finally fats are broken down into fatty acids. So if you see, everything has got change. You have got new substance. Carbohydrates have become sugars. Huge carbohydrates like starch has broken down to sugars. Big proteins have now become amino acids. They have become the smaller substances. You got a new substance, and fats have become have got changed to fatty acid during digestion of food. What about the physical chemical properties have changed? Both of them, of course, yes. When the food gets digested, the physical as well as the chemical properties, both of them change in your stomach because they react with so many enzymes. Thirdly, can I get back the original substance? Once the food is digested, can I get it back? No, I cannot get it back. So that's what I mean to say. It cannot be, the original substance cannot be recovered back. And fourthly, is it a permanent change? Of course, yes. I cannot do anything once the food goes in my stomach and gets digested. I cannot bring my food back. It will go on getting digested. So I hope this is clear, boys, the difference between the physical and the chemical change. Let me talk about chemical change. Now, why I want to stress on a chemical change? Now, a chemical change can involve a single chemical reaction, or it can involve many chemical reactions, or what you call a series of chemical reactions. Like you saw in digestion of food, your carbohydrates got broken down into glucose or simple sugars, and fats got broken into fatty acids, proteins got broken into amino acids. So you see here, there are so many reactions happening in your stomach during digestion of food. Is it a simple thing? No. Milk into curd, it takes a whole night. There are so many chemical reactions happening in the milk, and because of which it gets changed into curd. So this is, I mean, what I mean to say, I hope you understood, is a chemical change can involve a single chemical reaction, or it may involve a series of chemical reactions.